Well, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to stand and do Pledge of Allegiance. Please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we're opening up tonight's meeting as a public hearing, and it's regarding unanticipated funds. And it is for the purpose of accepting a grant from the New Hampshire Department of Justice Attorney General's Drug Task Force in the amount of $130,000. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with New Hampshire RSA 31:95-B, Section 3. And so that's for the camera. Sorry about that. We'll speak out. The acoustics in here are a little tough, and we don't have the regular mics tonight. So we'll open this up and close it out at 5:15. Chief Smith is here. If you would like to add anything to that, Chief?
This is our initiative that we started last year. It's a 2-year grant process, and you have to re-up the grant every 2 years. But we have partnered with the Attorney General's office to assist with the drug task force, and we have a member on our department that serves on the task force, and this is reimbursement money for that officer that we put on the task force.
Okay.
If you haven't noticed, we have a pandemic going on. We certainly still have a drug epidemic, and this is one of our many efforts, different avenues and angles that we use to address the drug epidemic.
Okay, great, thank you. We will open it up to any questions or comments you may have.
How many cases do you have to serve it and give the cost to
How many what?
within the last year? How many?
Narcan. I think he started.
How many people have you had to service and go after them and do Narcan?
I mean, we administer Narcan. I can't answer that question right now. We can get you an answer later on. Generally, a lot of that's done by the fire department. They would show up on scene, but we do administer Narcan. I don't know the exact number.
So you're getting a grant money if you don't have any information?
This doesn't have to do with Narcan. This has to do with drug investigations specifically. Narcan is for...
Then I'll read the direct question. If you have, how many people have you had to survey to do something on it and get this money from?
I think you need to be more specific.
How much more specific do you want me to be?
Well, quite honestly, I don't know what you're asking.
I'm trying to find a number. You're getting $130,000 and you're putting somebody on here
Right.
to do it. Our town has got 6,000 people.
Sure.
And the police department in turn has hired somebody to be on this committee. I'm trying to find out some statistical numbers of what we've had, because we had people that died within the last year. How many calls have we had?
Okay, that I can answer. So I don't have it with me right now, but if you stop by the police department, we can give you how many drug investigative calls that we've done. I can let you know in the past 3 or 4 years how many drug overdoses.
1 year, that's all I'm looking
But
for.
I don't have that information here. If you stop by the police department, we can provide you with that information. Add a little bit
I
more.
may jump off agenda to be able to.
In 2019, for the 2020 budget year, we voted, the committee voted to supplement this program as well. It was by vote to add the extra money into the budget. This is a 2-year program, so it's roughly $65,000 a year that goes to the personnel line to augment the placement of the officer onto the Attorney General's Drug Task Force.
Good, thank you.
Chief, is this money, grant money, helping to pay the salary of this?
That's correct, yes.
In addition to dealing with the community members who need assistance, or is that how it works?
No, this is strictly for enforcement.
Okay,
We did receive some grant monies, actually $50,000 over the past 3 years, to assist with our police, recovery-oriented policing model. So we have somebody in the department that's trained as a recovery coach to assist people with their substance use disorder. So we kind of hit it at both sides. Not only are we doing the enforcement piece, but we also understand there's an education piece to get people into recovery, because substance use disorder is a pretty tough thing for people to battle with.
is this somebody you hired or somebody that you are adding these duties to him as an officer who currently serves the town clerk?
For substance use,
Yeah,
we already have somebody on board. Those funds went to train that individual.
Good, thank you. Anyone else? Comments, questions? So we'll move along. We will close this portion at 5:15, and then we'll take a vote to make sure that we can accept and then expend the funds. I think we're going to kind of jump off the agenda today because we have a young family tonight, and we have the privilege of swearing in Officer Tim Monahan. So if you want to come up, Jim, I know your family's with you as well.
Did you want your wife to come back out? So Tim is joining us as a part-time officer. If you guys noticed the past few years, there have been funds, the town actually voted for personnel funds that were unexpended. A certain amount would go into a budget line so that we could restart our part-time officer program, which has been pretty dormant for several years. Tim comes to us as a full-time firefighter with the Littleton Fire Department. He also has previously been a part-time police officer for the town of New London, and he is joined here today with his family, and we live here in Littleton, and we're really happy to have Tim on board. So
Great. I don't know, the best place to stand here? Okay, so, and I'll read the top part. It says, to the inhabitants of Littleton, New Hampshire and Grafton County, whereas there is a vacancy on the Littleton Police Department in said town, and whereas we, the subscribers, have confidence in your ability and integrity to perform the duties of a part-time patrol officer, we do hereby appoint you, the said Tim Monahan, as a member of the Littleton Police Department of said town. And upon your taking the oath of office and having this appointment and the certificate of said oath of office recorded by the town clerk, you shall have the powers to perform the duties and be subject to the liabilities of such office until another person shall be chosen that qualified in your stead. So if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tim Monahan,
I, Tim Monahan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all the duties
discharge and perform all the duties
incumbent on me
incumbent on me
as a part-time patrol officer
as a part-time patrol officer
of the Littleton Police Department,
of the Littleton Police Department,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably
agreeably
to the rules and regulations
to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the Constitution and laws
of the state of New Hampshire,
of the state of New Hampshire.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job, Gary. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you. So the next order of business, we do have just a few minutes left on the public hearing. Next order of business is I would like to introduce you to Jim Gleeson. He is to my left here. Jim Gleeson has over 20 years of municipal management experience. Jim holds a Master's of Art in Public Administration from Webster University. He has fostered, and this is just one of many things that he has accomplished over the last few decades. He has fostered a business environment that supported swift economic development, lowered tax rates, and achieved zero debt within 7 years, and built reserves up to $2.5 million. We look forward to working with Jim, and Jim, welcome to Littleton. Thank you. You're welcome. We also certainly want to thank Milt Bratz. He was our interim town manager for the last few weeks and did an absolutely phenomenal job. So Milt couldn't make it tonight, but we want to give a huge shout out to Milt for doing that. We do want to make a motion, or I want to make a motion tonight too, to reappoint Milton Bratz as the health officer.
I'll second it.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Obviously. Okay. Also, reappoint Milt. I'll make a motion to reappoint him as zoning officer, and these both will be effective as of today. So, zoning officer effective 4/12/21. Make that motion.
And I'll second it.
Okay, good. Thank you. And then I'll make a motion to appoint Roger Emerson to the planning board. It's usually the vice chair is the one that's the ex officio for our planning board. So I make a motion to appoint Roger to that
And
position.
I can second that.
Okay, you can second it.
I second it.
Yeah. All right, good. And then we had shared with you too that because Chad Stearns resigned, we do have to fill the select board vacancy, and we had just a handful of people express interest in it. So Roger and I looked over those that had expressed interest, and we had, obviously unanimously, it's just the two of us, but want to put Milt in that position. And it'll be there, he'll be in that position until the election next year. So this is his letter to us. Carrie and Roger, given my familiarity with the duties of a selectman specifically, and then he was for 2 terms, selectman here in Littleton, and the obligations and responsibilities of other elected municipal positions as well, I am available to fill the vacancy on the Littleton Selectboard created by the unfortunate resignation of Chad Stearns for the remainder of his 2021 and 2022 term. Thank you for your consideration of my application. Milton T. Bratz. So he will be filling that position for Chad until the next election next year.
Do you have to motion that?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay,
on
I'm good.
that. Yeah. This is just an appointment. So the next order of business is let's see.
Gary, does Milton have to accept this position publicly, or because of that letter, he does not have to accept this position?
No, that's an indication that he's already accepted. If we had chosen him, that would be his recognition of accepting it. He will be at our next meeting as well, so you're welcome.
And be sworn in this week.
Yes, he'll be actually sworn in tomorrow,
Yeah.
so, yeah, thank you. So the next order of business is again, we've got Chief Smith. It's a request the board to accept and expend a grant in the amount of $1,478.16 from the New Hampshire Liquor Commission.
So I believe you were provided this in your packet concerning what they call a Gleeson grant, which is an alcohol compliance education grant. Essentially, we schedule a couple days this year with liquor enforcement, and we assist them in doing compliance checks for both on-site and off-site sales locations. I think we have like around 33 different locations in Littleton that we would do the compliance checks on. And this money pays for the officers that we pay to assist the liquor enforcement officers for those particular compliance checks.
Okay. Any questions on that? So I will make the motion to accept and expend a grant in the amount of $1,470 $6, is it 76?
78.
78 and 16 cents.
I second it.
Okay, and I guess we're both in favor,
right.
so it's a go. Chief, do you want to share too? So the next item on the agenda is the restriction of the parking at Thayer's Lane to EV parking only, and that requests the board to approve a $1 EV station charging fee.
Carrie, should we close out that other? Just,
Yep, we can close it. Hold on just a moment. So we're going to, if any other further comments about the public hearing on, get that back out here. So the proposal is to accept a grant from the New Hampshire Department of Justice Attorney General's Drug Task Force in the amount of $130,000. Hearing no other comments,
I make a motion, we accept it?
okay? Accept and they expend, okay?
Yeah,
And
that's
I'll
good.
second it. Good, thank you. All right, so that closes out the public hearing. Chief?
Thank you. So if you haven't noticed, with the new river district construction, there was an electric vehicle charging station placed on Thayer's Lane, which is behind the Bank of New Hampshire. The charging station went in before you could act to put regulation on those particular parking spaces. It has 2 cords that can charge 2 separate vehicles. What we're asking is that, or what I'm asking, is that you assist in regulating that and make it a restricted parking area for electric vehicles only. And while they're charging, the signage we have says while charging. It can take up to 8 hours to charge an electric vehicle. So that's the first request, that you allow us to restrict that parking to EV parking only. And then the other part is to $1 an hour with a minimum of $1. So the first hour, whether it's a half an hour, 50 minutes, it's still $1. And then after that, subsequently, it's $1 every hour until the vehicle is fully charged. I can tell you that in my research, it can be as cheap as 50 cents an hour, and it can be on average up to $1.50 an hour. St. Johnsbury's at $1.50 an hour.
So that's just to rent the spot. So how do they pay for the electricity
Well,
going?
you can park that's when you plug in, it's $1 an hour to charge the vehicle, minimum $1. So if it takes 5 hours, it's $5, and then you unplug and drive away.
So this is a benefit for them because they have an electric vehicle and not for parking purposes to use our Main Street, or both.
It's off of Main Street,
Yeah.
but it does attract people to town that have electric vehicles that could park in that space and utilize our charging. It's like a gas station, but a town owns it.
So what would the charge be for someone like me that doesn't have an electrical vehicle and I park there?
Well, if you park there and they approve it as a restricted area, you get a ticket.
How much? I don't think it's
$25.
How much?
$25 for restricted parking.
Well,
But
I
that's,
ain't gonna park there, that's why I said that. But if we're benefiting this for people with electric vehicles, you know, if somebody is utilizing that space, I certainly think a bit of a higher, but we could start at $25. I see how it
As far as the regulating, it's going to be time monitored, or how?
it's going to be monitored by parking enforcement,
Okay,
and they would determine, if a vehicle's been there all day and hasn't had anything plugged in it, then it's in violation of the restricted area when it says in the signage.
okay. All right.
I'm sorry, how many spots are there?
2.
And so the town supplies the electricity.
We do.
At
Don't
a-
ask me what we pay per kilowatt hour, because I tried to find out today and if anybody to pick up. But it's substantially cheaper in Littleton than it is in St. Johnsbury. The town does make some money off of the cost, off of the charging of the station, just like we do with the parking meters. benefit for the person using it, this is a cheaper rate, but it's also a benefit to the town. There's a certain percentage of the cost. This is all fairly new to me. It's the first station that we have to maintain in the department. But that's the way it was explained to me.
Good. So, do we have, okay, Bruce?
Where did the money come from? The builders. We didn't vote on this. Nobody voted on putting this in. This is private enterprise. And there's two people, the one that's next door is in private enterprise, and they've got two stations within 100 feet of it.
So-
Okay? And they also got a couple of them up the other end of town. And how and why are we in the business? No different than the gas stations are all put up, they're private. They're not, and they take care of servicing the vehicles. We have no business in the town of Littleton supplying and making these stations as far as an expense is concerned. Where did the money come from? Who did it?
I can't answer that directly. I was told that they were installed, and that we were responsible for them. My assumption, and it's only an assumption, it came out of the River District project. These are not private spaces, these are municipally owned parking spaces. It's not uncommon for municipalities and cities to have electric vehicle charging stations. And they can be close by, or the ones, I don't know if they charge at the other station on the private property or not.
I have been in a couple of places, I went to Binghamton, New York, and they stayed in motel. Then when I got up in the morning, I was thinking I was at the station right outside the motel. And so that, I went back in and I inquired. And they commented to the motel and returned home. And if you stayed there, there was no charge. Okay? Then I went to one down to a class down in Littleton. And the same thing occurred down there. When they didn't have text. And they said, if you stayed here, it was $8 charge. And if you didn't stay here, it was $12 to start staying. My objection is, we shouldn't be in this business. That's not our business whatsoever. I'm not knocking you from the point of having to take care of it. I'm saying it's not business. This is private enterprise that puts these things together. And that's what should be here, is private enterprise. We shouldn't be putting these things in the town, and especially if the town's expense.
So in the town, how many total e-spaces do we have? Maybe less than 10?
How many total EV spaces?
Yeah, not municipal owned. Obviously, there's just 2 right now. But EV spaces, so we have the co-op.
The co-op, and I believe those are for free.
Okay, and then we have
And
the
2 spaces by 23 and Newsick. And you guys gotta help me if there are other ones. This is new to me, but those are the only ones I'm familiar with.
Okay, so out of those, we have 2 that are municipally owned. They're already active metered or active charging sites. So right now, without the regulation, we're essentially charging people's vehicles for free, right? Without regulation.
Right now, they are not up and running 100%, and anybody can park. The problem is that anybody can park in those spaces. So we have 2 issues. We need to regulate the cost to run the meter. And then the other piece is, there's been people just parking there normally, and people who want to charge their vehicles can't park there.
Yeah, so I would agree. I mean, that regulation is definitely something that would be necessary for those 2 spots because it's a limited resource right now. Also, e-vehicles are going to be an increase, and it's definitely something that should be considered. So I think this is a great idea, and it is at this point that they were installed prior to regulation could be, determined.
Good, thank you.
My question to you is that if you think the town could be putting these things in all over the place, that the town.
That's not what I said,
That's what I'm asking.
but I didn't say that.
I didn't ask you that. I asked your opinion would be, you're talking about regulating it and dealing with it. I understand that now. My question to you, do you think that the town of Littleton should be in the business of installing these things all over?
Well, I think in this particular instance, it was installed before regulation was determined, so we should
Wasn't that a grant
Yeah, it was part of, it was like a donation type thing.
donation? Chad worked on that, right? Yeah.
Number one, and how much did it cost?
Bruce, we can look into that, but I'm pretty sure it was donated and it did not cost us anything as a town.
That's
But,
not what I told,
well, we,
no one can insinuate that you paid for out of the water and light. And I went down and asked them and they said no.
no, I don't know who told you that, but we can look into it so that we know for sure. But I think we're really, we're a town that's in the people business. And if people are coming to town with electric vehicles, then we need to,
You need to go out and find a company that wants to install them as businesses. That's what, I mean, what do you think Mobile Oil or Exxon, or any of these other ones, they turn a company in here and they put up a filling station and stuff like this on it. That's what it is. It's not our business in the town to be putting these things in.
all right, well, thank you. Thank you for your input. So any other comments, questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask the chair, the money that you guys collect from this particular, are they gonna go to the parking fund or are they gonna go to the town?
Well, we got to pay the electricity, so we're not sure at this point what,
Yeah, that's
how,
why I said, because it's a parking which involves, the police, okay? And also, it's a consumer of electricity that's involved you guys. Where the money's gonna go?
Right now, the money does go into the receptacle, it goes into the parking meter fund.
Parking meter fund.
any other questions, comments?
I would just like some more information on how much it's costing us for an hour through the electric. And if these electric cars all charge at different rates, and if we're anywhere near,
We're getting beyond my expertise.
Right.
We can track that down. And work on it.
okay.
So technically, we should be voting on this tonight. Would you rather wait and table it until our next meeting?
I would ask that at least we set the rate, you can always adjust your rate,
Yeah.
we've adjusted meter rates before. Nothing that you do tonight is set in stone, but we gotta start somewhere. Right now, we have people parking in those spaces all day, and, people are using those, we're losing money because people they're using our electricity and we're not getting reimbursed.
Right. You okay with that, Roger?
Chief,
I don't know
how are you gonna
if I'm okay with that rate.
credit
Reason is
card when you're there?
people are paying $14,000 to put a charging station in at their house.
They put it in, but when they leave,
$1
they get the
for an hour.
or they put it in.
If they're driving a $40,000 car,
Again,
I think we should be on par with St. Johnsbury. They're not going to go to St. Johnsbury because they're cheaper. We have more to offer.
from your account, just like your Easy Pass.
Too much.
Certain
Okay.
things you reach
Thank you.
Or it's like airport parking where you get your ticket and you,
Right.
they check your time and then you're charged out.
So Paul, $1.50 an hour, that's what St. Johnsbury's getting?
That's correct.
My problem is I know it's like $14,000 to put a charging station in at your house. And that's a convenience for you. So if we're doing a convenience for everybody else, I don't think $1.50 is out of the question. I don't believe people are going to go to St. Johnsbury because they're cheaper when we offer. Right. No, I'm just trying to, I wish I had a little more information on how much it costs us for an hour to charge a car. That's all.
I'm okay with starting off with $1.50. $1.50 an hour, and then we can adjust.
We can adjust it once we find out what, so
Yeah, let's
let's go with $1.50.
all right, and then you'll have the signs, EV parking only.
That's correct.
All right. Will the fine be on there?
No, it's just a restricted area fine, just like all of our other.
Okay. All right, so I'll make a motion. Let's make two separate. Make a motion that we allow the police department to put up EV parking only with restriction.
And I'll second it.
Okay, and then the second motion is to approve the $1.50 charging fee per hour, and with adjustments if we have to.
It's just a starting point, but I'll second it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
Thank you very much.
super, thank you. So the next order of business is the bid opening. We had a Ford Taurus, 2014 police patrol vehicle, four-door sedan, color white, V4, all-wheel drive, ATPS, PV, PL, and power PW. Mileage is 117,718, VIN number, and I won't read that. That's the first vehicle. The second is a Kawasaki KX250, 2001 off-road bike. And then the third is a Honda KTM 6 Days, 2011 off-road bike. So we will open up the bids now publicly, and then it will go to the highest bidder. And we apologize for the time, or having to take this time, but it has to be done publicly, and there's a lot of bids that had come in.
So the bids that came in are silent auction bids, kind of thing?
Yeah, this is the first time that anybody is laying eyes on them.
This is apt to take a minute, though. Once
These
I
are
get-
all the Ford Tauruses, correct?
Yep, this is
Okay.
all Ford Taurus.
All right.
I'm not sure about the one that's in the big envelope that he got.
All right.
Like the lottery?
Okay.
Wow, a lot of bids on the car. Keeping the highest one in front of you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
this is a double one here. We got the Kawasaki and the KTM, both on the same one.
Set that on the side.
Yeah.
I need to see what this one is because we're not sure who. Sure. Bid for all three on this one.
Okay.
I'll leave that one for you because that's got all three on it.
All right.
I got 750 here.
No, we've had a higher one than that.
So you got a pile for the,
So far, this is the highest. I'm just putting it in here.
$1,568.
We've got even a higher one now, 3,257. But we should keep that one close because it's pretty close
Okay,
to second
yep.
and third.
$500 bid.
Almost at the end of the first car.
Really? $918, so I'm good here.
All right, so that's all of them, right?
Yep.
All right, we want to keep those all together for,
So this one's got all three in it, correct?
no,
Oh,
this one does here.
Okay,
So I'll
yep.
have you seal that one back up because those have all gone. So it looks like the highest bidder is William Doucette's Auto Sales, and he bid for the 2004 Ford Taurus, $3,257. Do you want those now,
Yeah,
Chief?
we can put all those together in folders and send out proper notifications.
Okay.
Keep them separated.
Okay. So we've got the top bidder and then the second top bidder. All right. So these are the two top ones here.
Okay, and these are the rest of them, so we leave it
Correct.
like that
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
This one's got extra bids on it, so we're gonna move on to what, the Kawasaki?
Yep, Kawasaki's next.
And we're just as bad on this one we've got.
I can maybe open some up.
Okay. If I cut the numbers in half, we'll have to splice them back together.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. One thing we better watch out for is make sure nobody's got a Ford car bid in this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
No car bids yet?
No.
$758.
Yeah, that would be the second biggest, I think, at this point.
I'll give you that one for the
Yeah.
second.
Just double check that. Oh, this is the second biggest.
651. $750. This one's got a Taurus bid in it too, but nothing, ain't nowhere near.
So this one here, did that have the 3 in there too?
This one's got 3 bids. No. Like $175 on this one, so.
Made a mistake. Made a mistake on the Ford Taurus. We actually do have a higher bid at $3,261, $4 more than the highest bidder of William Doucette's. So he would now be the second highest bidder, and this one is Bob Perez.
Some people bid on all 3 on one sealed bid, so that's why we're having trouble.
Who's the highest bidder now?
It's Bob Perez, Jersey One Auto Sales, for the Ford Taurus, by $4 from the other highest bidder.
And those both have 3, and neither one of them are anywhere
Okay,
near.
so it looks like on the Kawasaki dirt bike, it's Avery Hastings, and he bid $1,300. And he is the highest bidder. Second highest bidder is for $1,200 for Angelo Esposito. So,
And the way this goes is once we notify, they got 30 days to respond, and if not, then it goes to the second highest. That's how this works.
so this one has the KTM on it too, so I'm gonna
Yep,
hold this
hold
out.
on to that one. This has got all 3. That one's,
Who's paying for this money? The town?
Do you wanna share?
Yeah,
Chief?
these funds go directly to back into the.
so that can go into this one?
So this can probably go in there.
Has that got 3 bids in it?
No,
or-
just the one. But he's the second highest bidder,
Okay, yep.
so,
Put that right on.
yeah.
Whatever the select board deems, I don't think that's not going to.
So these 2 we'll just set off to the side.
Yeah,
We'll start on the KTM.
yeah, that's the final one, I guess.
Yep,
All right,
unless we find another Taurus bid in here.
yeah.
That's the highest one so far, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so far. Actually, the ones that come in with 3, we already have a highest bidder on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You better than 500?
Yeah, we got almost triple that already.
Good. So that's
Almost done.
$935. And these are the ones that have the 3 bids on them.
Yeah.
You got the highest one here?
The highest one.
Perfect.
So it looks like the highest bidder for the KTM dirt bike is Angelo Esposito in the amount of $1,650. And then the second highest bidder is Avery Hastings with $1,500. That's it.
Good.
And then this one here,
KTM.
this has the 3, so
Yeah, neither one of them are.
that could go back even in that one.
This one?
Yeah,
This is all 3?
yeah.
Was there a winner in this one?
No,
Okay,
No.
thank you.
you're
Very
welcome.
much.
You're
And the
welcome,
winners-
thank you. A little tedious.
And there's your clip, Paul, if you
That's
want
all right.
that.
Okay, so all of the open bids are done. The the next item on the agenda is Jeff Wynn wants to, and I am Jeff Wynn's sister, so we will not be able to vote on this tonight. I will have to recuse myself, so the next select board meeting, Milt will be here. So Milt and Roger can vote on this, but he's requesting a road name change from Kendall Drive to rename, the rename choices are either Harvest Court, Romans Road, or Stillwater Lane. So we will obviously take that under consideration, but I will not, for full disclosure, I will not be voting on that. The abutters have been notified, and I'm assuming there's a process too as far as letting 911 know as well, once the name change has been,
Does he give a reason why he wants to change the name?
What's the reason?
he did not give a reason.
Okay, I'll ask him that.
Yeah, yeah. If he's here at the next board meeting too, maybe he could share with us. The next item of business is Planning Board Resignation, Emergency Zoning Board Appointment. And we have that from David Polito.
Great.
Do you have that handy, Roger? He
And
gave us a letter. Oh, good, thank you, yeah. Okay. So it says, Dear Ms. Stubbings, I would like to request an appointment to the Littleton, New Hampshire Zoning Board as a full-time member. I'm aware that normal appointments are done in April, but I was informed that they could occur on March 22nd. Given that the board has had a vacant position for over a year, I have served as an alternate on the planning board for the past 8 years, but based on the needs of the town and the length of the vacancy, I feel that I can contribute more as a member of the zoning board. I look forward to hearing from you and thank you for your consideration. Regards, David Polito. But before we do that, we have to approve his resignation as an alternate. So, do
I make a motion that we approve his resignation as an alternate.
All right, and I'll second it. And then,
I can make a motion that we put him on full-time.
okay, and I'll second that.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Roger, just to take this, you know, I don't know what kind of word I should use to make it very polite, okay? You see what you did now? Rudy Chelsea, 17 later than you think. It's not your person. You throw in the garbage. 17 letters. Now, this gentleman already has sent you a letter. If you gave it to all of us, that maybe you consider, appointing this gentleman to whatever position he has. Do you? I don't know. Do you really think this is not prejudice? Do you think that that's racist? You don't think so? This is racist. You read the letter, that's a body asking you to appoint them to a position when Rudy Jobs sent you 17, not just you, all the other, chairman, 17 letters. I got them all. 17 letters of intent. And you don't even read one to the people all the time. What is that? That's no racism. It's no, prejudice. It's no, now what about wearing, on my back, that you guys are a bunch of racists? That's the truth. Tell me. Talk to me. 17 letters already dead. You don't even answer one. And your secretary over there, I don't know why she does it to my letters, but it's her business. 17 letters, and you never answer. Come on, let's be honest about it. You know what I mean?
The only thing I can tell you, Rudy, and thank you for sharing that, the only thing I can tell you is that David had been an alternate, so now that alternate position is going to be open. So if you are still interested in the zoning board, if you put your letter of intent in for the alternate position, we're more than welcome to look at that.
I give up. I'm just coming here to listen to you guys. I give up. Whatever I gotta say about you guys, I tell it to the people outside. I know that. Maybe you don't like it, maybe you like it, whatever it is, but that's the truth. 17 letters in the day. You don't need to give a consideration to one of them. Even one. And believe me, people, they want me in one of these committees. They want. I don't know why, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. The next order of business, Doug, are you all set to share? This is on the wastewater treatment plant pump repairs.
Excuse me.
Good evening, Selectboard, Public Director. I came to you after 2 meetings ago to give you a report on our wastewater treatment facility and failure of one of our key primary contractors.
I can't hear you.
That's the difference.
Doug Yamko, Public Works Director, came to the board after 2 meetings ago to let them know about a failure we had in one of our primary pump sewer treatment facility. And so we have an emergency repair project that I'm moving forward with. We're seeking emergency authorization from the enterprise fund. We'll be checking as a public hearing at the next meeting with you guys. And I'm currently working on getting that project put together to go out to give customer proposals from companies that can do that kind of work. I did put together, doing some review on it, we decided to go forward with a turnkey project, which means there will be engineering and the selection of the proper pump and installation all done together as part of the project. So that will be the main cost. That won't be the cost from an outside engineering firm or from our utility or company that's operating the treatment plant. So it's strictly just the cost of the contract. There are a couple of companies that are possible in terms of the type of pumps. We talked about maybe just going with the same company or vendor that we currently have out there, but there's another one that we competitive. So when we put down, try to get some better pricing or competitive pricing. So we will be publicly advertising that request for proposal. Plus we'll be sending it directly to qualified contractors as well as pump supplier companies. So that's kind of the current status of where we're at. So we'll see that all in here by the end of the month to get sent out, advertised. And the funding hopefully will get approved. ERA, it's an emergency project. So if you have any questions,
So things are patched up and working for now?
yeah, well, the other pump is working fine, and it's been handling, the spring runoff. And we have a temporary pump, and a temporary pump. It's been, that kicked in once, I believe, to give some backup support.
Okay.
Yes, it's about a 6-month process of the whole project. So we'll have a good meeting before next winter. Or the second meeting.
Thank you.
Question, please?
The way I just heard it say it, we're going to put it out on a turnkey basis out, so they will be doing the engineering, they will be turning around and doing the installation, pump, particularly, and stuff like that.
Correct.
Am I right, so it's turnkey operation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're not looking for any bid from any company, because the stuff that you're only looking at, and the idea of plumbing concern or a pump concern, is put the bid in your engineer and the whole process, correct?
That's correct.
The only reason why I asked, I was there last week, and we figured about $850,000 paid for, voted on, even cost down on money. The only thing was, it wasn't full about that. All I looked at was 65 miles from the border. Canada, probably one of the biggest places that can buy this to be water. You're not getting government grants out of it, then you have to get it in. But the exchange rate of money, number one. And if you look right along the same RC with it, it's a couple more pumps in that. They're only 65 miles from the border. So you're not going to control if the person gets from Canada and reduce the cost, or it's going to be from the United States. All right?
That's correct. The no grant funding.
So whoever turns it in, and putting it in, and they can in turn control it as far as the actual purchase of it, and it could be from South Africa, or anywhere else, not just Canada. But Canada is so close to us, rather than they really into this kind of stuff. And exchange rate is something else, too, very, very savings of money.
And also, just to clarify briefly, as part of the project, we already made the decision to replace both pumps. The both are changed. So we're running on borrowed time for the one that is still working. These pumps are over 30 years old. We've been well past their expected life replacement cycle. So we've got good use out of them. We made the decision to replace both of them.
And one will balance be left in the account. I mean, out of the sewer fund.
My understanding from the finance manager is that we have a little over $1 million in unreserved funds.
So we're going to use $850,000 up to that amount in here. So you're only going to have a couple $100,000 of money left in there for any project. Because the way it works is, anytime you get a sewer, which in the town of Littleton is £1,500, you pay 9% tax. It goes into the fund. And that's the federal government something 9%. 9% I think is the top. Hey, that money, anytime you get a sewer, you get 9% off. And that's the whole thing.
Doug, it's my understanding too that if these fail, we're in trouble. And it takes, 8 months to get them in? So time, yeah, 6 months. So time is of the essence. And if they fail, we're in serious doo-doo.
We would love to wait for an opportunity for a grant, but we don't have that luxury.
No.
The reason we're competitive, part of the reason we're competitive in bidding it is if there is a grant that comes up, it's always a requirement of a grant that's competitive in bidding. And if there was a way to seek a grant after the fact, it would just be following the long process that possibly be successful close to the grant.
And you had also shared with us too that there's no way to repair it. It's all or nothing. Okay.
If you ever look into it, I mean, if your lights go down, out of, you know, the equipment generators come in and down, country, or anywhere around, you get services and that. Pumps work the same way. If they have a problem, and it's into a period until you get a new one, you probably find something that you rent on the problem, put it in on potentially basically where you get close.
We have one there now. We have one there now, Bruce. Yes.
We have to handle the full flow, but it's still been out so much.
What are you paying now?
I don't remember, around 4,000 a month.
4,000 a month?
It's an 80 phone.
So you will keep us posted, Doug, on that? Thank you.
Back in next week, whenever it be.
Okay,
We have the public hearing.
good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate that.
Good.
The next order of business is the Pemmy Baker Solid Waste District letter of commitment for the Pemmy Baker Solid Waste District application to the 2021 Household Hazardous Waste Grant. This is to certify that the town of Littleton fully supports the Pemmy Baker Solid Waste District on this year's Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program. If the grant is approved, we agree to implement the project in partnership. Our role is to notify and educate our residents of household hazardous collections in a timely manner to increase the diversion of hazardous materials from our waste stream. We strongly urge that you approve the Pemmy Baker Solid Waste District's application. Questions on that, or is anybody have?
Where's Penny Baker from? Plymouth area?
I can answer the question, Ron. Well, Penny Baker is a solid waste district. There's 22 towns that are members. Littleton's a member town.
Okay.
So every year they put on household hazardous waste day. I think it's supposed to be 3 different towns. I don't know what they have scheduled for 2021. Yeah, it'll be in August, September of 2020.
And that's when I take things to the recycling center, because it's a designated day?
Yep.
Gotcha. You?
Yeah, we should be hearing something about that soon, yeah. So I will entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept it as read.
Okay, and we strongly urge this application.
You're right,
Yep, okay.
this
And
application.
I'll second it. I guess we're all in favor. Good,
All right,
thank you.
so we have one to sign at the town building.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The next order of business is the New Hampshire Beautiful Grant Award of $5,000. Request the board to accept and expend the grant. Is that $5,000? It is?
$5,000,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Funds toward the purchase of a new horizontal baler. Do you want to share that? Baler.
Bailiff for the cardboard at the transfer.
Cardboard baler at the transfer station.
How old's the out?
You know, it was past its life cycle. I don't have Steve here today.
I think it's 10 years old. I think it's 10 years old, Bruce. One of the problems is that we found out is with COVID and everybody ordering on Amazon, there's more cardboard, there's thicker cardboard. This baler isn't cutting it. You know, a new baler would save so much time and actually make the town a little money.
From what I understand, that was price of that was outside.
It has.
And it has to do with the Amazons and these other people. The fact is, the profitability from running your thumb here out, it could be a lot of money coming from the board. That was very valuable circumstances.
And the thing this new baler would be able to do in 20 minutes what the other one would take a couple hours to do. So it would free up the man hour at the transfer station and just be able to pack more into one bale, save us a lot of time and space.
That money had to come out of the public hour. I believe that any equipment that they're going to equipment cost in the town on that. The fact is, if they buy equipment, it has to be voted on by people to be able to take it out.
This is a beautiful grant award for
Yeah.
it's $5,000 with no, so it's just a matter of Roger and I saying, go for it. But it's, and Doesn't cost the town anything.
So I make a motion that we accept that grant,
Okay,
$5,000.
all right, and I will second it. Good. I think you can sit down now, Doug.
Didn't mean to answer your questions, but
Yeah, no, that's good. So the next order of business, we don't have any Board of Assessors, no business under that. Other business, we have the review of the 2021 investment policy. Read it through, there's been absolutely no changes in it. So it's just a matter of approving it every year. So I would make a motion.
you're making the
I'll
motion.
make the motion
And I'll
to
second it.
approve the 2021 investment policy. Good. And now we can take public comments. Rudy?
Congratulations.
Jim Gleeson, this is Rudy Gelsey.
Yes. I had a letter from Right to Know, okay? You guys sit down, they told me to ask you this question. That's the letter. Do you guys in Florida, do you go with the municipal laws and the Right to Know 91A, or you got a different?
Well, first of all, though, Rudy, we're not in Florida anymore.
I
He's not in
understand.
Florida. Okay, so he would.
No, but that's what, no.
Okay.
But that's why, if he doesn't know what law we follow in Littleton, which is a 91A,
Correct.
I'm just to try to inform the gentleman. Anyway, that's the paperwork. Would you like to read?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rudy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Bruce?
I asked the last meeting that we were at, if any of you had attended the New Hampshire Human Rights Division pertaining to the fact that they had the meetings and they set up and they actually, I asked for water and light and they had sent their whole crew. I asked you people who said you never had done. There are an accident ready to happen. How the state of New Hampshire has 500 cases at any one time, at the present time, according to the lady that I talked with down there. And I believe the fact, according to what I talked to the wife, I think I mentioned it to you, we said we were going to check with her. But the fact is that she said that the town had voted on it, and the fact that everybody in the town was supposed to attend these conferences so they don't get hot water. Judy said she had 2 certificates on the wall down there that she had attended the conference. I believe the fact that you still should do it with, I have talked with the town office down there too, and they haven't heard much. But this is something that I'd like to ask the new town manager, have you ever attended the conference of that nature? Human rights.
It's part of, that can happen sometimes through ICMA, the International City County Manager Association may direct that in a sub-session in conference when they deal with.
Have you ever attended?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because I do believe under the way that they got it in New Hampshire, where you have 500 cases going on, at any one time in here. And you can lose very easily if you do not have your management people in terms of the first thing the attorneys will ask is the town select board and your town manager if you can produce evidence of it. If not, you don't lose. And they're very, very expensive, these lawsuits. Never mind what you do, what they end up paying, too. But I do believe the fact that it should be on and everybody in your town, as far as employment and stuff like that, should have to be, including all the stuff, should have to attend these classes, too. And I think you told me you were going to look into it, and I don't know.
The New Hampshire Municipal Association, Bruce, offers day-long workshops every year. And part of,
Very quiet about the state of New Hampshire. The state of New Hampshire, in turn, they rights about the thing on it. It doesn't get anything to do with what you're talking about. This is something that if you do not, this is where the cases go to, and the people file, and these are all brought into the state. And you need to learn more about it.
We did look into it, and we were told that it's not absolutely necessary. It would be good to go, but it's not absolutely necessary. So we may be hearing from some.
Excuse me, I'm saying you should be, that's wrong on what you're doing, the point of the people and the people that work for the town, and even you should be putting that in a decision-making position to make sure anybody you hire, as well as yourselves, attend a class with candidates or something, because it's very, very expensive.
Well, thank you for once again sharing that, and we will clarify, and if it's absolutely required that we go, we will do it.
Well, I think it's a case of you people should be setting the compliance. Being sure you get all the employees and as far as that, it's not a matter of you get somebody's telling you that it's a case of you as a management team of the thing on what you said. Anybody you hire, you should be required. That's the ultimate thing to get us out of having a huge amount of expense going on.
Other comments, public comments? Okay, well, this is okay.
The next one that I brought up was purchasing agent. When you have a purchasing agent, whoever it is, it should be written in it. Now, the factory within 20 miles of me as a purchasing agent. Now, they put it in their agreement that says if you're purchasing it, you cannot be purchasing agent getting a TV from the guy that's selling you a car or a truck or anything like that. And you should be putting it in all management situations out. So you would put it in there so you would turn making sure that nobody is profiting out of putting a contract together or dealing with the car that and it should be built in to a management contract or whether that is a town manager or it should be built into anything with anybody that's doing any purchasing.
We will look into that as well, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Next one.
The town of Littleton in turn received a letter from the state of New Hampshire in the lights that both ends town. They state went out and said the fact that they weren't going to pay for any of the lights on the interstate highways anymore, as far as that goes. And the letter was sent to the town. Suddenly, this has been brought before the meeting in here. Suddenly, the town in turn is now paying the bill for $3,000, putting it on with no vote from anyone. It was voted within the budget, from the point of what it is. But consequently, why are we end up having to pick up the cost without having a vote from the select board saying that they're going to put it on a warrant item and it's going to be given? There's no vote. This is not right what you're dealing with. When you get something that is cost about $3,000 I know the water and light has changed on the electric around. We can benefit from having different kind of light.
So there are 42 streetlights from exit 41 to exit 44. Not all of them were turned on. Not all of them were.
There's only about 4 at every exit.
42 total, though, streetlights. So they did turn off some. The state said that they were going to turn them off. We did not have control over that.
Well, the town has already been paying the ones that are around town.
Right.
They're not paying them along the interstate highway where you get on and off. And it was put on the town budget that we're going to be paying within here. And no vote, nobody voted. You guys didn't you could go back and you got somebody like Kirby Lewis, they're gonna benefit up here and need to change out the thing on. If they leave the lights on, when that they built people along the interstate highways, I would consider paying some of that power. But it's, why should we just automatically be put on and get the extra expense without having the opportunity of voting on it or putting it on these warrants? This is not right.
So is the issue, Bruce, that we didn't vote on it, or is the issue that we're paying $3,000 a month?
Oh,
I got a question, Bruce, for you. How much is a light worth to you? This is a safety issue.
no, it's
Now,
not.
this is a lighting issue, and it's dark in the areas, and I'll tell you what, I would rather pay the $3,000 than wait for a town meeting for us to, and put people at risk. So, you tell me what light is worth. So I can tell you right now, priceless.
You may be right.
And I am right. I am right.
I'm not denying it. I'm not saying
You're barking up the wrong tree, Buckley. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Because we're talking about people's lives.
Okay, so what, Bruce, again, thank you, and Bill, thank you for your comments. We're really not going to solve anything here tonight, so you're just bringing it up. Sure. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I didn't know if that was brought in through the budget committee.
Yeah. Well, no.
It wasn't, no.
No.
Okay.
So we did get a lot of calls of people, and we're talking, older people, and I can say that now, older people get, the eyesight isn't as well, and a lot of older people don't drive at night, and dangerous, just absolutely dangerous. So for a safety purpose, they turned on, not all of them, but many of them. So, let me guess, you have something else?
no.
Okay, all right. Okay, I thought so. All right.
There was a letter that was in the newspaper, came to it, that said that they were trying to go, the guy from Lancaster, New Hampshire, he was trying to go to the state of New Hampshire and enact an agreement that said if all their utilities in turn would have to supply all their profit and loss statements out of the thing wanted from that time. And if they did, out of the thing on it, it would give you an opportunity, supposedly, the way they wrote it, to in turn get a better handle on being able to tax them, property taxes. My concerns are if this occurred and it was passed by the legislature in the state of New Hampshire, it's the first thing that would occur. The second thing on it would be they will be passing it the same way that they wanted it before, which is going to take all of your utilities, and it's going to go into one general fund, and it's going to be divided up amongst all the towns. And I think that we should be making sure that we do not endorse it on whatsoever. It should be not endorse this right to figure out how you're going to tax the people more. I mean, you've got to go through the legislature. Well, that's the first step, because they'll come back on us, especially in the town of Littleton, where the amount of utilities that are paying. So I think you should be looking into it. I think it was written in an article that said that somebody from Lancaster was also, I think, was innocent, was involved. So I think you should follow up on it, and making sure that you understand it and then vote on it. I would recommend that you do not vote to endorse that type of policy, because if you do, that's the first step in taking all the utilities away from the town, but it's really in the town.
All right, well, thank you for bringing that forward, and we will look into that. I'm unfamiliar with it, but definitely it'll give us something to research. Thank you. Any other comments before we wrap up here? Any other comments, questions?
I have one question, Mr. Chairman. How many times a month this committee, this settlement committee, who and I, they get in touch with all the commission chairmen, it's like, the district, the parking, the police, everybody else. Do they get together to see if they have any changes in bylaws and so that the citizens of the town, they're going to find out about it. So like, I've been over here for quite a while now, 15 years. I never see anybody that talks about that the selectmen, they have a closing door discussion with all the commission and talk about if they have any change in town, about any entities, it's like police, the water, and so. Do you can tell me if it's, if you guys have this kind of discussion with all the entities from this town, behind the closed doors?
Gary, I think that you get it from the municipal association.
It is right here,
You get it from the municipal association, and they get it in touch with all towns and select people, and they supply you any changes in the legislature and everything else. So it is a non.
Yes, they do, yeah.
What do you do? Once a month, once every 2 months?
You mean as far as getting the information?
Yeah, talking, with the syndicates that we got. How many commissioners we got, in town? How many, we got the real district, police, royal light, zoning, and so. No changes at all in about 15 years in this country.
Are you asking, are there changes in personnel and in
bylaws?
bylaws?
That people should know about?
The general public, the constituents?
I'm always
Okay.
talking about general. Do you think that,
I'm sure there are, and, Bruce said the New Hampshire Municipal Association brings stuff down the legislature. They let us know.
they tell you over here, the only reason, I don't know, he doesn't know. Nobody knows. But if you can tell us, you say, okay, every month we get together and we talk about, changes.
We could do it at our selectmen's meetings. Is that what you would want to do, Rudy? As far as we could bring up different changes in the bylaws or different changes through the municipal association or...
It would be nice, so there doesn't cost you guys enough.
Town manager should be a precedent. They're changing all the telephone numbers around here in the state.
How did we get in touch with you?
And that's, it's federal law, and everybody will have, like, we have an exchange here, 603, 444, whatever the numbers are. And you're gonna have to dial 603, call anyone. And it would be on the stationary, it would be advertising, everything else on it, but you're gonna have to do it. And you should be looking into that. Making sure that you can do it and do it correctly, because it's happening quite often. There's a moratorium.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yes, I was wondering about the town of Littleton website, townlittleton.org. Who's the webmaster? It seems like it's not very kept up to date and it's very not user-friendly.
It's a work in progress,
Okay.
for sure. It really is. We just changed over to that. The previous one was a little rough. So
That one was worse, for sure.
yeah, so we're in the process of, I don't know if we have do you know, Seal, if we have somebody specific to make the up? All right. But that's a really good, because there's so much more we could be doing on it too.
Yeah,
Mary, I could give you a recommendation,
Okay,
because when my daughter was in college at Plymouth State, they utilized the students
Okay.
as certain assignments. And she actually was the one that designed the webmaster for Plymouth State, the town of Plymouth,
okay,
because she came up with the, icon and the whole bit. So if this is something that if we reached out to Littleton High School, there may be an art group or someone that we could utilize through community service, because to the best of my knowledge, I think they still have to have 100 hours of community service.
Absolutely.
That could save the town some money,
Yep.
utilizing those smarts that the youth of today, unfortunately, know how to do that stuff.
no, that's good, that is, thank you.
Bring that up, what I had noticed was there was a lot more, I mean, we had to hunt for it, but I haven't been able to find it in the new platform. So there's just, it seems like with the transfer over, there's been a lot of, like, PDFs of past voting results and such like that. Like, that hasn't come over yet, or I can't find it, but,
Okay.
that was something that I was wondering specifically.
All right, good, well, we will look into that, thank you very much. Anything else?
Do you think it's possible to change the page of the town with the new manager name, address, no address, name and telephone number, email, and stuff like that?
Oh,
Because right now,
sure.
Yeah, in fact, I will double check that tomorrow, because I just got,
It's not there right now.
yeah,
Right
no,
now.
and
Right now, Mr. Chairman, I hate to say that.
it took a little while to even to get my computer synced up and
Yeah.
tied into the system, so
Okay.
we're getting that stuff done today, so I will check with Robin tomorrow and make sure that's updated.
Mr. Chairman, I also, I don't know if this is acceptable or not. I believe that, the town hall pages, they are really bad. They are the worst of the worst. They got no more information, about it's like today it's a meeting, right? They write that we got a meeting today, okay, that's fine. But then, but last week, the meeting last week, you show the meetings and stuff like that. 91A, Mr. Manager, it's blank. It is a blank. And we need more information. We need more transparency. If the transparency doesn't come, and then when, I understand the chairman, behind the closed stuff, it's got to be open. That's the way you make things.
Well, be patient with us, because
I am. You see the way I dress? Because
I know, no t-shirt tonight, Rudy.
The new Rudy.
Yeah. I didn't, what'd you just say, Bruce?
Being a town manager, you're coming on board. Everything that you have as an email or any of that stuff should be owned by the town of Littleton. And it should not be in a private one-hour key where you can take it with you. And make sure that whatever you're doing is owned by the town of Littleton.
No, we're well aware of that, the 91A. So, thank you for that. Any other questions, comments? All right, hearing none, thank you all, and dismissed.
Thank you.